Thank you very much for joining in, especially the people that have joined in from North America. My topic is something very interesting and very groundbreaking in this part of the world. As you can see in the background, these are the people that I have worked with, and they are the hope in our region. The topic is innovative career thinking with parents and students in Pakistan. So I will be sharing the next 20 minutes on this very interesting and meaningful intervention in Pakistan. Next slide, please. So this is a picture of the session that I actually took. This is a marginalized community in Pakistan in the city of Karachi, where a session is going on. And the way I do this is I have a dialogue session. And these are people that are vulnerable and are marginalized. However, they are very talented. And this session is going on parental career guidance. Next session. Next slide, please. So I'll be talking about the youth development in Pakistan, short summary, the innovative practice, the key findings, and then the way forward. Next slide. So 60% of the youth in Pakistan, you will be surprised to know, but there are 60% people in Pakistan that are young, which is a great blessing in this part of the world. However, they required a support mechanism that identifies, nurtures their hidden potential at schools and colleges. So how do we do that? By bridging the gap between parents and children's career expectations. There are different expectations from the parents' side, and there are different expectations from the children's side. And how do we bridge the gap? And we bridge that gap by teachers, by parents, and career practitioners. And they act as catalysts of hope to change in youth behaviors and careers. Now, what are the challenges that we see in youth development in Pakistan? Sadly, there's a lack of career direction and overwhelmed and underutilized yet talented youth workforce. So we have this huge population. However, they are finding it a challenge to pursue their career goals. And unlike the West, where there are a lot of trained and qualified career practitioners, we in this part of the world, we are now currently working on this. So this is an area of work where there's a shortage of properly trained and qualified career practitioners and vocational guides, and financial constraints to sustain career reform initiatives. Next slide, please. So I'll be talking about the aim of practice, the method, the results, and the conclusion of this innovative parental career guidance. And what is the aim of the practice? As you can see, there's a lot of literature review on parental career guidance, and this is something that I wanted to share from Dr. Savikas, the life design paradigm, which places particular emphasis on parents' role, given that career construction is considered the results not only of interpersonal processes, but also of contextually built and shared intra-family and social processes. Next slide, please. As you can see, there's a significant research on this very interesting topic of young people and parents. I won't go into the details. It's very visible to the audience. So just wanted to share that the literature supports this. Next slide, please. So what was the method of actually conducting this practice? There were 300 parents and their children attending middle school and high school from a vulnerable community. Public school are involved. And why did we select the public school? Because we felt that there's more acceptance for change when we start with public schools. They are more hungry for change as compared to the private schools, with all due respect. Both were asked to fill a career selection questionnaire standardized for the Pakistani and the Asian context. I think it's very important. We have these global concepts all across the globe, but it adds more meaning when we add the cultural aspect of it. So people are able to connect much more quicker. And exploring and selecting careers for parents and children conducted by the career practitioner and concluding with the feedback form given to both. So that was the process that we use in this practice. Next slide, please. So what was the methodology? The focus of pilot parental career guidance practices on parents whose sons and daughters are currently studying in grades 8 to 11 at public and private schools and colleges in Pakistan. Now, why do we focus on grades 8? As per research and as per evidence, it is often shared that this is the seed plantation age per se of transformation. So the earlier we start, the better results we can actually achieve. The practice is aimed at educating parents about diverse career fields commonly known in the country and they are called, they are more referred as traditional career fields, and also enlightening them about emerging career fields, which are futuristic career fields in our part of the world, which will have bright future career prospects as well. The practice provides career awareness to parents and their children about the significance of career fields and how right selection influences career transformation for youth, families, and inclusive communities as well. So it's very important to actually bridge the gap that what types of thinking patterns do they have? The parents are used to traditional careers in this part of the world, which is perfectly fine, but we need to modify their thinking by letting them know that you have been used to these 30, 40 years of preconceived career thinking in your mind. How do we bridge that gap, and how do we enlighten them by giving them new futuristic career trends that can add economic prosperity to their respective family? Next slide, please. So this is something very interesting. This slide, after this intervention was done and this dialogue was held, and the way we did was, the way we did this process was, we actually selected this vulnerable community, and before we started the process, we gave them a questionnaire, a career questionnaire, on how do they go about guiding their son and daughter of grades 8 to 11. And then I give them a talk for about 45 minutes, which is more like a guiding questions talk, and framing the career guidance and trying to enlighten them and broaden their perspective. And then after the session is over, I do another. I give them a feedback form to understand what was the paradigm shift in their behavior. So this is what the parents shared after the session was over, and they said that career field which provides job security. So a parent in Pakistan is more interested in having a career field for their son and daughter which provides job security, which makes sense. Traditional careers fields are safer, so they often advise to their son and daughter that pick those careers that are much safer to actually invest in, and its financial implications to invest in degree programs. How much will it cost to go in XYZ degree program? Traditional family values versus collectivism. We want to, this is something very interesting, we want to relive careers to our children's abilities. So if they could not become a chartered accountant, if they could not become a doctor, if they could not become an engineer, at times they often force that, with all due respect, that we want to relive our careers to our children's abilities, and that is a challenge. And what are the students' perspectives? Career field which provides rapid growth, so they want instant recognition, which is something very interesting. To work in a leading multinational company, willing to explore emerging fields for career success. So the students' perspective, they are the game changers for risk. So they want to explore career success that is rapidly. Share us the emerging career fields that can give us rapid success. I mean, nothing happens rapidly on a lighter note, but at least they have that igniting of a passion to explore that. Going abroad for higher education, entrepreneurship, which is an individualism concept, and freedom to choose career as per interest and ability. Next slide, please. So what was the feedback when we did these sessions? And this is something very inspiring and very meaningful to know. I'm so glad that my parents attended the parental career guidance workshops. It is easier for them now to support me in my career pursuits. Ali, a student of class 9, I can now pursue my field of study. I'm happy that my parents finally encouraged me to pursue a career that caters to my strength and not my weakness. Very interesting, very insightful insights. Next slide, please. So what are the implications of practice at educational institutions? By engaging parents at an early time of the students' careers, success stories will increase of the respective educational institution, and admissions in higher education due to timely and strategic career guidance provided to the stakeholder. For educational leaders and for government, source for socio-economic think tank to re-strategize educational policy in developing regions. And how can we do that? We can integrate parental career guidance in school curriculum to have a robust impact and a sustainable impact. So this is for the government and for educational leaders to actually incorporate this in the youth policy. For potential employers, the study findings show imparting parental career guidance would result in employers receiving optimistic graduates that will result in having an engaged workforce. Now, oftentimes we see in the corporate world that they often say that, we don't have talent, we don't have engaged talent, we don't have engaged students that are graduating from different universities across the region. And why is that? Because they are not that passionate about their careers. They were forced to be in that career that they never wanted to be. So that's something very interesting. When we have this intervention at an early age, this is a win-win for everyone. Next slide, please. So the limitation of this practice, the practice was conducted in a few public education institutions. The researchers recommend that the practice to be extended to more education institutions, including private schools, and spread the innovative parental career guidance program to other developing and underdeveloped regions of the world. Next slide. Now, what were the key findings from this practice to strengthen and sustain the supply side by initiating and facilitating ongoing institutionalizing parental career guidance workshops at educational institutions, especially middle and secondary schools? So why do I say ongoing? This is not a one-off intervention. This is an ongoing process. So it is very, very important to be sustainable and to be consistent in your intervention. To improve the demand side by supporting youth through continued dialogue between education institutions, parents, and children, especially at schools, in making informed decisions. And why do I say that? The average time that a student spends or a professional spends in their career in any part of the world, not just Pakistan or Asia, is 38 years. And why do I say 38 years? Because we usually retire at the age of 60, right? I mean, we can work till we have energy on a lighter note, but usually we retire at the age of 60. And the average age that a student gets a degree is 22. So 60 minus 22 is 38 years. So if you're not self-motivated in those 38 years of the career of your choice, those 38 years will have an impact on your well-being, on your mental health, on your employability. So it's very, very important that you need to be inclined with your values and with your interests and with your abilities. And introduce students and parental career guidance association at schools to inform and update parents and students about activities in the field of career guidance. And that is something that is already happening in schools in Pakistan. We have parental teacher meetings, but why not add something more? Add a parental career student and parental career guidance association, and that will add more meaning. Next slide. So the results was the practices in process. So far, the parents and children's workshops have witnessed a positive change in parents' career awareness, and they are more informed about career fields. And what is the key thing when we are having these dialogues? It all comes down to communication. How are we communicating? How are we capacitating our students, our workforce, our future workforce, on how do we have a dialogue with our parents? And that is the most difficult part. So we need to inculcate in our career education programs the art of communication. How are we framing our insights? And that is very important. Parents' behaviors are gradually becoming more receptive towards advocating their children in career education as per their interests, aptitude, and temperament. And why do I mention temperament? I think temperament is something very important that oftentimes people don't mention. They focus a lot on the interest and their aptitude, but the temperament is your cognitive flexibility is very important. That's one of the key skills that is recommended by the World Economic Forum. So the more temperament you will have, the more a moderate temperament you will have, you will be successful in any career that you plan to choose. Next slide, please. So what is the way forward? Parental career guidance programs modifies the mindset of the parent from ignoring youth to engaging youth. This is something very interesting towards positive career transformation. It diminishes low self-esteem. And we have seen in various cases that when parents oftentimes are very adamant and very assertive that this is the field that we have chosen, it diminishes their self-esteem, that they cannot pursue the career that they wish to. So it all comes down to communication. How are we communicating with our respective father and our respective mother, and makes them self-confident. So creating and strengthening collaborations with international and national bodies to advocate the parental career guidance groundbreaking practice, advocating at national and global bodies of institutional excellence to initiate a parental career guidance counseling day. And I think it's very important in our profession. We need to be great advocates of our profession. And advocacy is not just about careers, but about the different interventions that we are doing. And we start with a baby step, but by having this day of parental guidance career counseling day. Next slide. So parental guidance workshops are an integrative, evidence-based approach to conceptualizing, assessing, and building careers that can be used across the globe. So one of the key things I wanted to share that when we developed this questionnaire was based on talking to different stakeholders, whether that is educators at public and private schools, whether that's employers of the government, of multinational organizations, of private organizations. We talked to parents, we talked to students. So this was a very holistic impact by talking to all the key stakeholders while developing this questionnaire, ensuring that the fields that they select will actually add economic prosperity in their respective lives. Next slide.
Thank you. That was a brilliant. Maybe we can stop shit out. Carry on. Sorry.
Okay. So the conclusion, this is a win-win situation for key stakeholders, including parents, educators, practitioners, employers, and institutions, building bridges and seeking collaboration of parental career guidance with educational institutions to initiate ongoing parental career guidance dialogues. As I mentioned, it's not a one-off thing, it's ongoing. And establish a parental career guidance association. Instilling hope in parents and youth contributes to social justice for a safer global and national harmony. Next slide, please. I'm just coming towards the end. So invest in career guidance, opportunity for collaborations through international development, educational foundations, the Ministry of Youth, Education and Labor, the CSR, the corporate social responsibility, the business philanthropists in the country. Next slide. So enlightening parents, and children, we can make it happen globally. We need to believe in this concept. We need to believe in the idea of communicating the art of communicating with diverse stakeholders. Next slide. Next slide. And last but not the least, I was very humbled that this intervention was recognized by the United Nations as well, and I was invited for the UN high-level meeting on peace building and sustaining peace. This was a very humble moment in my career, that this intervention, when you are engaging dialogues with vulnerable communities, that adds to UN Sustainable Development Goals. I'm currently working on goal number 4, 8, 10, and 16. This was also recognized by the UNESCO's flagship entrepreneurship education meeting annually, which focuses on innovation in entrepreneurship. Last slide. Next slide. And this is hope. We have these young people, in abundance in this part of the world. And if we have the art of communicating, the art of dialogues, there is a lot we can do in this part of the world. Next slide. So thank you very much for your time. I have my contact details mentioned over here. I'll be happy to engage with you on LinkedIn. I also have a YouTube channel, believe it or not. I believe it's very important to have constant advocacy, and I was very humbled to interview leading career influencers from across the globe. So just search Maximizing Career Guidance and Development. You'll be able to connect with on my YouTube channel. And I'm also working on something very interesting, advocating UN International Careers and Livelihood Day. You can contribute to the blog, and by writing a blog on different UN days and adding the career development aspect. So thank you very much for your time. I hope I was well in time, and I will be happy to answer any questions you might have. Thank you.